Hey guys, today we are going to talk about the different ways that you can pay for things. Okay, the different ways that you can pay for things. That's methods of payments. Okay, methods means ways. Methods, which is the ways of payment. Methods of payment. All right, let's think about all of the ways that you guys know that we can pay for things, okay? First, the most commonly, used to be more, the most commonly used thing was cash, but that is becoming less frequent. Credit cards, debit cards, and online banking. Okay, debit cards is the most frequent now method of payment. Okay, so we're just going to draw a little table here, and we're going to compare the different methods of payment. Okay, so we have, what is it? Advantages of it. So we're going to do the pros. So we have, what is it? Pros, cons, and just some other information. Okay, so we have cash, credit cards, debit cards, online banking. What is it? The pros, which is the same as saying advantages. And cons, which is disadvantages. And then any other information that you may need to know about the method of payment. All right, so cash. This is physical money in hand. Okay, this is like dollars, bills, any physical money that you have in hand. The advantages of using cash is that you actually feel the money. You touch it, okay? So you notice more how much you spend. You notice more the amount you are spending because you see it. You feel it. I'm going to put feel. Okay, it's that sense of touch. You can actually touch the money and you can see it go out in what you have actually left. Okay? Cons. No online purchase with it. No proof you spent it unless you receipt. I'm going to put without receipt. And it's less convenient. It's less convenient to pay because you have to count it out. They have to count it out. All of that. Okay. Here is a tip for you. Keep cash safe and secure. Because if you lose cash, it's gone. Somebody else can pick it up. There's no proof that you dropped it or anything like that. So there's no proving that it was yours to start with. So keep it safe. Okay, a credit card is a plastic card used by banks or financial companies for you to borrow money. You're borrowing it. Okay, so with a credit card, you have to pay it back, and you pay it back with interest. There are some advantages to having a credit card, okay? But there's also some disadvantages. So let's just talk about some of the advantages. Builds credit. If you make your payment on time, it'll build your credit. Credit is very important, guys. I know that right now at your age, you probably are not thinking about credit, but you will be thinking about credit in the future, okay? And so I want you to hear it now and early and think about it going long term. Because hopefully someday you're going to want to buy a car, or you're going to want to buy a house, or things like that. In order to do those things, you have to have credit. Okay, credit just tells somebody it's very unlikely that you are going to save the amount of money necessary to buy a house. Houses in Denton are roughly $250,000. Okay, if you're going to save $250,000, it will take you years to save that. And then by the time you go to buy your house, they're going to be more expensive. Okay, so most people, unless you're like a millionaire, most people buy their houses on what's called a mortgage. And it's the same thing with cars. They buy it on loans, which uses credit. Credit tells a bank how trustworthy you are with your money. Okay, the higher your credit score, the more likely a bank is to lend you money. Okay, credit cards is a way of saying, I've borrowed this money and I pay it back. Okay, so it builds your credit up to make that credit score higher. You can earn rewards. Some credit cards, I'm sure you've seen them on commercials where they earn frequent flyer miles or things like that from Capital One. You can get rewards from that. They're convenient to pay with. You just swipe it. Okay? And they are helpful in emergencies. So sometimes you may, as adults, back in the wintertime when we had all of the pipes burst in people's houses, a lot of people would use a credit card to pay the plumber to come out and fix those. It's an emergency that they may not have had $2,000 cash on them, but they could borrow that and pay it back over time. Okay, differences. There are disadvantages. It charges you interest. What that means is that you're going to pay back more than you borrowed. Most interest rates right now are about 8%. For credit cards, it could be like 12 to 25%. So that means that whatever you spend, you're going to pay 25% more for that. Okay, that's their charge that they cost. That's what they charge for you to borrow their money. They say, we're going to let you borrow our money to buy the things that you need, but you're going to pay us back and interest on top of it. Okay, it can be easy to overspend. With a credit card, you're not seeing the physical money. It's imaginary money. Okay, so if you're not seeing it, it's hard to balance that out. Okay, you're thinking, oh, I'll pay that long term. I'll pay that in the future. I'll pay that in the future. Well, eventually that payment comes due. And you will get it and you'll be like, wow, I did not know I spent that much money. Everybody does it at some point. Okay, so it's easy to overspend. And then there's possible fees on top of that. When you spend with cash, you're just paying what you're paying. With a credit card, they can add fees like overdraft, or late fees, or annual fees just to use their cards, things like that. Right. A tip for credit cards: pay it off each month. Okay? The balance forward keeps your interest rate low. You're not paying as much interest on it if you pay it off each month because you don't have a balance to accrue. Then we have debit cards. A debit card is also a plastic card. Okay, but this just is your money spent on a card. Okay. It's also convenient to use. You only spend what you have. And you can get cash back at ATMs or at a store. So you can get cash. It's like coming out of your bank account. The disadvantage is overdraft fees. This means you spend money that you don't have. So they charge you a fee. A tip for here is to keep track of your balance so that you know exactly how much you have. Online banking is money transfers. A lot of people will pay their bills, like I pay my water bill and my electric bill and a lot of bills automated through my bank account, just transferring the money there. I give them my account information, they take the money out. Okay? It's convenient for bill pays. I know you don't have to do this all yet, but you need to learn it at some time. So it's convenient for paying bills. A disadvantage is hacking from computer cyber people. Okay, so sometimes you'll hear that a bank or somebody goes in and hacks somebody's account and steals their money. That happens with online banking. Okay, so a tip for online banking is to always use secure sites. Okay, don't just put your information out there for anybody. Always use secure sites. All right, those are the methods of payment.